and it's something that is very important, and I take duty very seriously. I take my responsibilities very seriously.
The British royal family thrives on composure, tradition, and carefully crafted public images. From a young age, Princess Charlotte has embodied these very principles, always poised, always graceful, until now. Something has shattered that perfect facade. Something so unprecedented that even Charlotte, known for her unwavering calm, could no longer stay silent. Her father, Prince William, has made a move that no one, neither the palace nor the public, saw coming. And Charlotte's reaction? Jaw-dropping. The young princess, still years away from official royal duties, has been thrust into the center of a moment that could reshape the monarchy forever. But what exactly did Prince William do that left his daughter so stunned? The truth is more shocking than anyone imagined. Before we reveal it, make sure to subscribe to Golden Age Phantom for more exclusive royal updates. Prince William's decision sent shockwaves through the royal family, disrupting the very foundation of tradition that has governed them for centuries. No one expected such a bold and decisive action from him, a man known for his measured and calculated approach. Yet, here he was, making a move that some called revolutionary and others labeled reckless. The monarchy had long been built on an unshakable hierarchy, a carefully preserved chain of power and control, but William, in one calculated step, challenged everything. At the heart of this shift was not just a simple decision, it was a declaration, a statement that the future of the monarchy could no longer rest in outdated customs. While many assumed that William would wait his turn, letting the weight of tradition dictate his path, he had different ideas. He wasn't waiting anymore. His decision to consolidate his influence signaled that the time for passive leadership was over. This was his monarchy now, and he was making it clear that he would shape it according to his vision. For years, whispers about a shifting power dynamic had circled Buckingham Palace. Was King Charles fully in control? How much influence did Queen Camilla truly wield? And where did Prince William fit in? Those questions were now answered. William had stepped into a role that many believed was still far out of reach. He was no longer just a prince preparing for the future. He was actively carving it out with his own hands. The public's reaction was instant and divided. Some viewed his decision as necessary, a long overdue modernization of a monarchy that had struggled to keep pace with the world around it. Supporters saw him as the leader Britain needed, a forward-thinking royal ready to bring a fresh perspective. But others saw it differently. They believed his move was a direct challenge to King Charles, a power play that could cause a deeper fracture within the royal family. Was William defying his father, or was he simply ensuring a stronger future for the institution? Inside the palace walls, the tension was undeniable. King Charles, long expected to guide the monarchy through his reign, was now forced to reckon with a son who was not only stepping up, but stepping over him. And then there was Queen Camilla, whose role had already been under scrutiny. If William was taking on more responsibility, where did that leave her? The balance of power had been disrupted, and not everyone was ready for it. Beyond the immediate impact, the long-term consequences of William's decision remained unknown. Would this move cement his future as a strong leader, ensuring a smooth transition when his time came? Or had he unintentionally created cracks within the monarchy that could prove irreparable? The institution had weathered countless storms over the years, but this felt different. This felt like a shift that could alter everything. But while the world tries to understand William's move, the real story lies in how it deeply affected his daughter, Princess Charlotte. Princess Charlotte was born into a world of expectations. From the moment she took her first steps in the public eye, she was taught to smile, wave, and embody the grace that generations before she had perfected. She had never known a life without scrutiny, never experienced a moment without the weight of royal tradition pressing down on her. Yet, through it all, she remained composed, carrying herself with a poise far beyond her years. That's why her reaction to Prince William's move stunned those who knew her best. This wasn't just a fleeting display of emotion, it was something deeper, something that had been building for a long time. For years, Charlotte's future had been carefully outlined for her. She was expected to support her older brother, Prince George, and uphold the family's image with unwavering discipline. She was young, but she was still a royal, and royals do not question their place. But then, everything changed. William's decision shifted the very ground beneath her feet, leaving her to navigate a world that no longer felt as certain as it once did. For the first time, Charlotte was forced to reckon with the idea that her role in the monarchy might not be what she had always been told. Her reaction wasn't immediate, nor was it a dramatic outburst. It was something quieter, more complex. Those close to her noticed the subtle signs, hesitation in her expression, a stiffness in her usually confident demeanor. She wasn't just shocked by her father's actions, she was trying to understand what it meant for her future. Did this move elevate her standing within the royal family, or did it push her further into the shadows? Would she one day be expected to take on responsibilities she had never prepared for? Or worse, would she be left without a meaningful role at all? Charlotte had always been seen as the spirited, charming royal, the one who added warmth to the otherwise rigid institution. But beneath that smile was a young girl caught in the middle of a transformation she didn't ask for. She had spent her life preparing for a role within a monarchy that was now changing in front of her eyes, and for the first time, she might have been realizing that she had no say in what happened next. Perhaps that was what unsettled her the most, not the change itself, but the realization that she had no control over it. She had spent years following the rules, presenting herself exactly as she was expected to. Yet, in one moment, the decisions of others had forced her into unfamiliar territory. She was no longer just the young princess growing up in the background of history. She was now at the center of it, whether she wanted to be or not. As Charlotte struggles with this life-changing moment, the deeper question remains: what does this mean for the monarchy's future? The monarchy has always relied on structure, an unbreakable chain of command where power is passed down, not seized. But Prince William's latest move suggests that waiting is no longer part of his plan. His decision wasn't just bold, it was a direct statement that the future of the royal family would be shaped by his hands, not dictated by traditions that no longer fit the modern world. And in doing so, he may have placed himself in direct opposition to the very man who still wears the crown. King Charles had spent a lifetime preparing for his reign, stepping into the role after decades of standing in his mother's shadow. But just as he began cementing his rule, William made a move that could overshadow him entirely. Many now question whether Charles is truly in control, or if his leadership is already slipping away. His reign was meant to bring stability, a steady transition after Queen Elizabeth's passing, but instead it has been marked by uncertainty. His son's increasing dominance is no longer subtle. William is making decisions with the confidence of a future king who is no longer waiting for the future to arrive. And then there is Camilla. She spent years fighting for her place within the monarchy, slowly winning public acceptance and eventually being crowned queen. But her position has always been fragile, and William's rise has only made it more precarious. If power is shifting toward William and Catherine, where does that leave her? Her influence, once growing, now appears to be fading. She has found herself in a silent battle, one where every decision William makes pushes her further into the background. The consequences of this power struggle extend far beyond the individuals involved. This isn't just about William stepping up, it's about the monarchy itself and whether it can survive these internal fractures. If Charles cannot assert control, does his reign hold any real power? And if William is already acting like the de facto leader, what does that mean for the way the monarchy operates moving forward? The public is beginning to question whether this family, once a symbol of stability, is now on the brink of division. What happens next will determine more than just titles and influence. It will decide whether the monarchy remains a strong institution or if it fractures under the weight of its internal conflicts. William's move may have strengthened his position, but it also deepened the divide between generations of leadership. And, caught in the middle of it all, is Princess Charlotte, a young royal now forced to navigate a family that is shifting in ways she never could have predicted. But this isn't just about power, it's about the future of the entire royal family, especially Princess Charlotte's role in it. Princess Charlotte's future was once carefully mapped out, a life of duty, public service, and quiet support for the monarchy. As the second child of Prince William, she was expected to stand beside her older brother Prince George, ensuring the royal family's image remained intact. But William's bold move has changed everything, forcing Charlotte into a position she never anticipated. Her place in the monarchy is no longer a mere formality, it is a question mark hanging over the future of the institution itself. For years, Charlotte was seen as the charming, lively young princess, growing up with the expectation that she would follow tradition without question. But with the monarchy shifting under her father's leadership, those expectations may no longer apply. Will she be encouraged to take on a greater public role, becoming a key figure in the modernized royal family? Or will she find herself pushed into the background, overshadowed by the power consolidation happening around her? Her siblings, Prince George and Prince Louis, add another layer of complexity. As the eldest, George is the direct heir, and his responsibilities are clear. He will one day take the throne, carrying on the legacy of his father and ancestors. But Charlotte, as the second-born, is in a far more uncertain position. History has shown that second-born royals often struggle to define their roles. Neither the direct heir nor fully removed from the monarchy's demands. Will she follow in the footsteps of her great-uncle Prince Andrew or her uncle Prince Harry, both of whom faced challenges in carving out their own identities? Or will she break the cycle, forging a new role that no royal before her has managed to achieve? There is also the question of how William and Catherine will guide her through this transformation. If William is reshaping the monarchy, what does he envision for his daughter? Will he encourage her to be an active, influential member of the royal family, standing by his side as a modern force? Or will he shield her from the spotlight, ensuring she has the chance to step away from the pressures that defined his childhood? The answers are unclear, but what is certain is that Charlotte is at a crossroads. Unlike generations before her, she is growing up in a world where public opinion is more powerful than ever. The royal family's future is not just shaped by bloodlines and tradition, it is dictated by the court of public perception. If the monarchy is to survive, it must evolve, and Charlotte may play a crucial role in determining how that evolution unfolds. Will she embrace the expectations placed upon her, or will she challenge them, rewriting her destiny? But while Charlotte's role remains uncertain, the public has already made up its mind, and their reaction is explosive. The moment Prince William's decision became public, the reaction was immediate and deeply divided. Across Britain and beyond, people took sides. Some praising his bold leadership, others calling it a reckless gamble that could destabilize the monarchy. For many, William's move was seen as a necessary step toward modernizing an institution that had long struggled to keep up with the times. Supporters viewed him as the natural leader, someone who understood the weight of the crown and was prepared to take action to secure its future. But not everyone was convinced. Critics saw his decision as a direct challenge to King Charles, a move that could be interpreted as a power grab rather than a strategic evolution. To them, William wasn't modernizing, he was disrupting. The monarchy, they argued, had survived for centuries because it followed a strict line of succession. By stepping forward so aggressively, William was bending the rules in ways that could have unintended consequences. The whispers of royal tension only fueled the controversy, leaving many to wonder whether the royal family was more divided than they were letting on. At the center of the debate was one crucial figure, Kate Middleton. Unlike William, she had maintained a composed, almost silent presence throughout the unfolding drama. Yet, her influence behind the scenes couldn't be ignored. Some believed she was the steady force guiding her husband through this transition, ensuring he made decisions that would strengthen their family's future. Others speculated that she was just as invested in reshaping the monarchy, playing an even greater role than the public realized. Whatever the case, her presence at this moment was impossible to overlook. Then there was the media, shaping the narrative with every headline and analysis. Some outlets framed William's move as a sign of strength, a moment of leadership that the monarchy desperately needed. Others painted it as a family crisis, stirring up speculation about hidden tensions and backroom discussions. Social media exploded with theories and debates, with royal watchers dissecting every detail, every expression, every possible hidden meaning. The palace, as always, remained tight-lipped, but silence only fueled curiosity. But while the world debates, Princess Charlotte herself might have the final say. Princess Charlotte has spent her young life in the background of royal affairs, shielded from the pressures that come with being a high-profile member of the monarchy. But that protection may no longer be enough. After Prince William's bold decision sent shockwaves through the royal family, all eyes turned to Charlotte. Her reaction was unexpected, her composure momentarily shaken. Now the question remains, will she break the silence, or will the weight of royal tradition keep her quiet? The monarchy has always thrived on control. Public statements, carefully scripted appearances, and unspoken rules dictate how every royal carries themselves. For Charlotte, speaking out would go against everything she has been raised to do. Yet this moment is unlike anything before. The royal family is at a crossroads, and whether she realizes it or not, her next move could define how she is perceived for years to come. If she chooses to remain silent, it would be seen as a return to royal tradition, an acceptance of the rules she has always been expected to follow. But if she speaks, if she dares to reveal her thoughts, it could mark the beginning of a new chapter for her and the monarchy itself. Her parents, Prince William and Kate Middleton, undoubtedly play a crucial role in guiding her through this storm. They have always been protective of their children, ensuring they grow up with as much normalcy as possible despite their royal status. But with William now taking a stronger leadership role, his own decisions may be shaping Charlotte's future in ways she never anticipated. Is he preparing her for a larger role, gradually introducing her to the reality of what her life will be? Or is he trying to shield her from the very scrutiny that his mother, Princess Diana, once struggled against? The thought of Charlotte stepping into the public eye with her voice is both thrilling and controversial. Could she become a figure of influence within the monarchy, someone who doesn't just follow the rules but helps shape them? Her great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, built her reign on duty and discipline, rarely revealing personal thoughts to the world. But the new generation of royals, led by William and Catherine, seems to embrace a different kind of engagement, one that allows for more openness, more relatability. If Charlotte follows that path, she could redefine what it means to be a young royal in today's world. Yet speaking out comes with risks. Every word would be analyzed, every expression scrutinized. The press would seize the opportunity to frame her as either a rebel challenging the institution or a future leader embracing responsibility. Neither label would come without consequences. Could a single moment of honesty from Charlotte shape how she is perceived forever? Whatever decision she makes, one thing is certain: this moment is a game changer for the entire monarchy. The British monarchy has survived centuries of upheaval, adapting to changing times while holding tightly to tradition. But Prince William's latest move signals something different, something far more transformative. This isn't just another shift in royal leadership. It could mark the beginning of a new era, one that redefines everything the monarchy stands for. With William asserting his influence in ways never seen before, the royal family finds itself at a crossroads. The question now is whether this bold step secures its future or pushes it toward an identity crisis from which it may never fully recover. For years, the monarchy's stability relied on a carefully balanced hierarchy, one where change happened gradually, almost imperceptibly. King Charles, despite his lifelong preparation for the throne, was expected to serve as a bridge, a steady ruler who would uphold Queen Elizabeth's legacy before passing the crown to William. But with William stepping forward so decisively, that bridge may be shorter than anyone expected. His leadership style, more modern and assertive, contrasts sharply with the traditionalist approach of his father. If this shift continues, could William's rise diminish King Charles's reign before it truly begins? And then there is Queen Camilla. Once a controversial figure, she had worked tirelessly to secure her place alongside Charles. But as the spotlight moves toward William and Catherine, her role appears to be fading. If William is seen as the true power within the monarchy, where does that leave Camilla? Will she continue to wield influence, or will she be quietly sidelined as the younger generation takes control? The public's perception of her standing in the family could change overnight, altering the balance of power in ways she never anticipated. At the heart of it all is the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II. She ruled for over 70 years, embodying the very essence of duty and resilience. Her passing left an irreplaceable void, but it also raised critical questions about how the monarchy should move forward. Would she have approved of William's decision to take on a greater leadership role so soon? Or would she have advised caution, urging him to wait his turn as she once did? The monarchy she left behind was built on continuity, but William's bold approach challenges that very foundation. For the next generation, including Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, this moment could shape their futures in ways no one predicted. If William is indeed modernizing the monarchy, what kind of royal family will they inherit? Will they be expected to uphold centuries-old traditions, or will they be given more freedom to define their roles? The decisions made now will impact not just William's reign, but the very survival of the institution itself. As the dust settles, one thing is certain: the royal family may never be the same again. Prince William's bold move has sent ripples through the monarchy, shaking its very foundation. What was once a carefully managed institution, defined by tradition and order, now faces an uncertain future. His decision wasn't just a shift in leadership, it was a statement that the old ways may no longer be enough to sustain the monarchy in a rapidly changing world. But with every action comes a consequence, and the weight of this transformation has fallen not just on the institution itself, but on his daughter, Princess Charlotte. Her reaction was more than just a moment of surprise, it was a reflection of the deeper questions now facing the royal family. Is this the beginning of a modernized monarchy, one that finally embraces change, Or is this the first step toward a crisis that could shake its very existence? As the world watches, the stakes couldn't be higher. Will William's leadership secure the future of the crown, or will it create fractures that can never be repaired? And most importantly, what role will Charlotte play in the years to come? The monarchy has always survived on its ability to adapt, but this time the transformation feels different. The past, the present, and the future are colliding, and what comes next is anything but certain. What do you think? Is this a moment of progress, or the beginning of the monarchy's most turbulent chapter yet? The next chapter of the royal family is unfolding before our eyes, and it promises to be unlike anything we've ever seen before.